Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the far north in Iceland, and we have a Division 4B matchup for you today. My name is Atomo, and I'm joined as always by Calamity. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Really looking forward to a very interesting map between some interesting players. Theos, a long time member of the Reddit League, Jake Lyons in his second season, as we take a look at their stats. And both of them off to a pretty decent start, even though they find themselves with only one win so far.
Yeah, Division 4 has been 4B especially has been quite difficult so far. With three players running away at the top, and Jake and Fierce sort of in the mid-table there, fifth and eighth. But I think Fierce is on 3 and Jake is on 4 points with one extra bonus point there. So there's nothing much decided between the two of them yet. Yeah, you said it. Fierce is one of, I think we're at about 15 people who've been in Reddit League since season 1, and he's one of them. And Jake came in last season, I'm pretty sure, and straight away got promoted from Division 5 to Division 4. So I do think they're pretty even, and it could be an interesting match.
Yeah, Theos has a slight advantage on aces, but J Lions having the better average score throughout the first couple weeks for this one. Well, the map we're playing on this time is Iceland, as I mentioned, by Toponic, average score of around 13,000, probably by now, and about 300 plays, over 1,000 locations handpicked, so no photospheres or strange coverage, but Calamity, the coverage is broken by Google currently.
Yeah, I would call that strange coverage. It kind of depends a bit, because Schmingo does make sure it's not like completely cut off to the point where you can move like 100 meters either way and then you're stuck. But it can be a scenario where definitely after 1 minute of moving, you just hit a dead end and you're going to have to try the other way, which is not fun, especially when you move for like 2 or 3 minutes and then hit a dead end and you have no information in that direction. But I mean, it's the same for both players. It's just not much you can do about it. Just Google screwing up and apparently not really trying to fix it.
Yeah, it's been a while. Everybody expected it to be fixed quite quickly, but it's still a problem. So it'll be a challenge for our players to do well despite what Google throws at them for this one. Any predictions on this, Calamity? Who might come out on top?
Yeah, it's difficult to predict. Probably has a bit to do with who might have practiced a bit more and who feels more comfortable pinpointing or just more comfortable general in Iceland. And as always, a bit luck, bit of the seed, and yeah, and then we'll see who comes out on top at the end.
Yeah, it definitely could come down to one round where one of them goes the right way, one of them doesn't, and that just decides everything. We hope it doesn't. Doesn't make for the best competitive matchup. We want to see a good game here as we will get into round number one. And a nice fjord, at least, to our east to start. I don't think this is the one.
It doesn't
But
look
it
like the
could be.
typical one, right?
Yeah, it doesn't quite look like it.
I don't think it is either, though I don't know for sure.
Yeah, this was my seed, but it was like a week ago, so I don't believe it was. I believe it was a side road off of it. Both of them heading north, though.
It doesn't have that typical, please, I don't want to play this round feel.
Yeah, that's usually means you're on the one. I actually went south on this, so it's going to be interesting to see what they see to the north.
I'm pretty sure I went north as well.
Okay. Just a speed sign there for Theos.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of a sign for J Lions, but it's blocked out, so he'll keep on moving.
There's another one there. Probably says the same thing as the one over there, but not particularly useful.
Unless he has some mountain names memorized in Iceland.
Mm.
He seems we might be somewhere near a park, perhaps. Just checking to see if that sticks out in his map a bit. But oh, and a jump back to the start after a minute and a half, and he'll head south. That's an interesting decision, Calamity.
Yeah, it's quite risky actually, because as we've talked about before, it could just be a dead end to the south, and then you've effectively wasted 1.5 minutes that you traveled north because you're gonna have to travel that way again. But let's hope for Jake's sake that there is no dead end to the south.
Well, I hope for both of their sakes now,
Yeah.
because Theos has turned around as well. As someone who went south, I can tell you it's not a disaster. But they did spend about almost an equal amount of time, minute and a half, 2 minutes or so, going north.
Yeah, they went.
So we'll see. Yeah.
They went pretty much the same distance, but Jake was just quicker getting there.
So we'll see if they have enough time to find anything to the south. But this is typical Iceland: clicking, 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 and
Hope
staring
that
off
you
into the flat horizon.
yeah, hope that you don't click past an intersection.
Yeah, that's something we haven't mentioned before, is that it could come down to how fast a player can play. If you can travel an extra 200 meters or so and see a sign, that might decide the round for you.
Yeah, 200 meters.
So
I think it's usually a bit more than that. You'd have to be quite unlucky that you're exactly those 200 meters away and then run out of time. But I think like it's it is the one, by the way.
there we are. We are on the one. An interesting part of the one.
Yeah, not the usual one you see. So
And there we go. With a minute and a half, there's the sign, the 98. So we are in the southeast corner.
yeah, next to him, and I don't know how to pronounce the other one. Djúpivogur.
Yeah, not bad. Better than I could probably do it.
That would
Those towns on the map.
I would assume that you know how it's supposed to be pronounced. I might be completely off.
Yeah.
Pretty confident about Vogur, but the first part I have no idea. It is actually a town that stands out on the map, though. But those distances will make everything a bit easier for Jake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1 kilometer away.
Yeah.
And Theos.
Theos still.
He's seen these road numbers. There we go. He'll a little bit lower. Maybe he knows the road numbers are important, but hasn't quite remembered where the numbers start.
Has he seen them? I don't think he has yet. I think he's now coming up to those signs.
I thought he saw that first sign. He was on the second ones, but no, it appears he's on those. And back to the start again. And I don't know what he expects to see going north with 20 seconds. He's
pinpointing.
Maybe just the direction of the road.
Yeah, exactly. Just seeing where along the road you are.
Yeah, and Theo's definitely a little bit too slow. Is going to be seeing the good information with almost no time, and he is way too far north. 4,734 for him, and yeah, Calamity 2,557 for Theo. So seeing those signs, but again, that 30-odd seconds slower means no real time to even start to pinpoint to find those towns.
Yeah, exactly. And the 81, not 81, the 98 is one of those roads that, let me actually check again if it even shows up. You definitely have to zoom in quite far. No, it's one of those roads that doesn't show up with a number on the map. So you'd have to
overlaps with the 1 or something, correct?
No, the 91 is just a very small road that goes from the 1 to the town, like literally about a kilometer long. You've got the exact same situation pretty much in Herben further down to the south, but for this town it just doesn't show up. So yeah, this one was definitely a case of Jake was just faster and therefore got to better information quicker. And yeah, Fierce at the end even got slightly lucky because with in the last second he placed his pin further away from the right location, but it didn't count anymore. So at least it didn't lose even more points.
Yeah, so it's not just about what you see, it's about having enough time after you see it to do something with that. And Jake definitely gets the advantage in that one. As we get into round number 2, and this is more like the 1. We all will come to know and love by the end of these videos for sure.
Yeah. Also great because there's no reference points whatsoever here. You've got a long straight road.
But there is a nice rest stop slightly to the sort of the north here, and while Theos will go the other way and get very nice signs that we are in fact on the 1. The 30-something, he covered it up.
Yeah, 34 and the 33, I think it was, and the 39 as well, yeah.
39. So there's a bunch of city names. We saw some of these look actually familiar from the Division 5.
Yeah, Thorlax, Herben. is a city we've seen in Division 5 seed.
Started to rain for Theos. A couple small town names for Jake Lyons, but again, no road number. A good intersection that he can possibly find those numbers. There we go. You'll see that sign.
Yeah.
Chase it down.
He has already put himself on the right road, and he'll now see that rest stop. Now he's just got a pinpoint.
Yeah, this was tough. It was literally a long, straight road.
Yep.
And you got to guess about how far along are you?
I gotta actually look up how well did I do with this. I was 600 meters off. I think that was a case of me just looking at this and being like, I can't be bothered.
It's not my real game. I don't care.
Yeah.
We're here. What was surprising was I missed it, but then it told me I was like, you know, like a couple 100 meters off. And I was like, that road is even that long? All right. So yeah, 4,993 points for Theos. Again, a bit tricky to pinpoint. So just off of that.
Yeah, you can kind of just what you want to do, I think, is you kind of want to go up and down the road a few times just so you get a feeling of how long is the road and how far down on the road are you. And even then, still, you're relying on a bit of luck to get as close as possible.
Yeah, you can see right there Max FI doing a pretty decent job. His pin showing up on Theos' screen. With a minute and 40 still left to go, and Jay Lyons is going to make sure he does as...
That's a bit close.
Can. Yeah, that's where you are, not next to your spawn. So now he'll head south again. He is doing that Calamity, going back and forth, goes back to the start, judges the distance to that rest stop, goes up to the intersection again. Trying to get a hint of that.
Yeah.
When I played it, I definitely felt like we were closer to the curve because I could see it easier than I could see the kind of the stop there down the road, but I put us slightly off of center, and I think that was a little bit of a mistake. We're pretty close to the middle of this, unfortunately.
I put myself much closer to the rest stop because I don't even think I went south.
Oh. Just waiting now for Jake to decide how many times it's too much. Make sure he's actually on the road. Good move. And he will lose one less point than Theo's 4,994 for him. Yeah, a bit of a tricky one there.
Yeah, it just comes down to luck at the end of the day. Like, you can definitely make sure you get within like 100 meters rather than being like 500 meters off. But whether you're like 2 meters away or 70 meters away is just mostly luck.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, let's get into round number 3. Let's not keep you waiting. And, oh, well, this looks like the one.
Everything just looks like the one in Iceland.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep saying that. It's the one. Oh, wait.
You're going to be,
yes, it is.
You're going to be right about 70% of the time.
Yeah. So, a bit of a different scenery this time, but a very nice sign, not too far away.
And it's not the one.
It is not the one. It's the 61. But it is the 1N, not too far away.
Does that say 1N or does it say LN? Or IN?
I think it says 1N, but it could definitely be an LN, but... Theos, unfortunately, heading south, is not going to see this sign. He might find another one, of course, but a very nice sign to the north for Jay Lyons. So it'll save his fingers a bit of work. Yeah, and there we go. Theos will give up on that direction because he's just not happy about clicking for forever.
Yeah.
And he will eventually come upon this sign as well. There we go.
Jake's got a sign with 330 kilometers to Akureyri and 227 to Reykjavik, so...
It is the 1S, so it must have been the 1N.
Yeah, possible, yeah.
Yeah,
That
it's a much clearer picture.
probably means one north and one south, I imagine.
Yeah. There's a very good intersection with the 61 and the 68, and then it's about backtracking to that starting location for both of them.
Yeah, Jake still seems pretty unsure of where he actually is, which I'm a bit surprised about because he does have the town that's like 5 kilometers away, right north of him. So he should be pretty confident that it is the right intersection. And I think he's finally realized that as well.
Yep. Now we head slightly northeast and then a curve to the more northerly direction. Both of them now judging that with about 2 minutes left to go. No other real helpers at all besides that. But that is a pretty significant curve, not too far away from the intersection, so that will help. Yeah, so you want the curve before that one. But again, it will be a bit tough to actually pinpoint. You can kind of judge between the two curves that you're in, but then it's going to come down to a little bit of luck where exactly between them.
Yeah. A lot of luck, I would say.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a really unique challenge of Iceland, right? You can find the road, you can find the even the two bends in the road you're between, but then after that, there's nothing. There's not a point of interest, there's not a side road, there's not a golf course or something to use to be confident in your pin placement. It's got to come down to judging distances, which in Street View, not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, and another point to prove that is that no one so far has managed to 25k this map.
Yeah, even some of our Division 1 players have not managed to do that. So yeah, 4,992 points, 100 yards away. Come on, Jake Lyons, switch to meters already.
Yep.
For him. So he'll drop 8 points, and Theos this time is going to take a little bit longer to do his pinpointing to the best of his ability. He looks like he's about set for himself as well. Not quite sure if it's that which of these two curves he's looking at. The counting would have come in handy, but
counting 1, 2. Okay.
Yeah, not the hardest thing to count. Should have learned numbers in Icelandic, then like we could have done it then. It might be similar to German or Swedish, Scandinavian number.
Icelandic.
And yeah, unfortunately for Theos, he'll put himself in probably middle ground between where he should have guessed. He should have either guessed a little bit further to the south or more to the north, and he kind of split the difference, and that will mean he drops a bit of points, 4,976 for him.
Yeah, I was just looking up numbers in Iceland, and it is actually quite interesting. Like, you can tell for all of them, just based on the root of the word, you can tell what number it's supposed to be, at least from 1 to, like, pretty much all the way down here to 20 and stuff like that. You can tell sometimes it's like very similar to German, sometimes it's very similar to English. Now, how you pronounce those, I have no idea, but they look pretty similar.
Very nice. Well, yeah, Calamity, it turns out that so far it has been pretty easy to find the location, but it's been that pinpointing ability that's really separated them. A few point differences for each round means that Jay Lyons has slowly built his lead going into round number 4.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say the pinpointing has been the difference. It's mostly been round 1 where I would say it was the speed where Theos struggled and just, yeah, ended up having not enough time to be able to even start pinpointing towards the end.
Okay. Well, let's get into round number 4 then. And, well, we've got a nice little body of water that can help pinpoint a little bit. But again, looks like we're on that 1.
Exactly.
And this time we share it with some lovely sheep.
Yep.
Who also like traveling on the 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think they prefer the the grass beside the one, but sometimes got to cross over the one to get to the grass on the other side.
There we go. Well, and yeah, Jake Lyons are taking a good view at the southern part of that road, very close to the coast.
Mm.
So we're going to be along that southern part.
Yeah, exactly. And there's actually not a lot of the southern coast that looks like this. Like if you get too far west, you'll generally just find more signs and stuff like that. And if you get too far east, you're kind of in a similar region that they've already been in round one. That looks a bit different too. So they should have a rough idea of where this could be, but obviously you kind of want to find at least something to help you pinpoint so that you at least have something to look for.
Yeah, the remoteness of this, nothing too close, no fences, sheep wandering across means you're a bit far away from something, so they might have to do a bit of clicking to find any signs. But I do find it interesting that a lot of these little farms have these blue signs that Jake Lyons is taking a look at now. They're not on the map. They're not going to help you. But if you are local, you're driving along, you know which farm is which.
Well, they sometimes actually are on the map, and they sometimes do help you. But the problem is that you can never really tell whether it's going to be on the map or not. And you'd rather look for something else first. Like this sign that Fios, I think, is currently in front. I'm pretty sure is just a road name of the road that is leading to those houses. But that is not really something you want to look for, even if you've already narrowed it down to the south coast of Iceland.
Yeah. Oh, Jake Lyons, I think, just jumped back to the start and is now heading north, while Theos will continue his southwesterly travels.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if that move pays off for Jay Lyons in this one. He's got a bit of a lead, 14,720 to 12,526. So you can take a little bit of a gamble, I guess.
Yeah, I always find the mountains in the south of Iceland pretty interesting because like they're pretty high actually, but very steep. So as soon as you get like, as Fios hits a dead end, as soon as you get like 100, 200 meters away from the peak, it's just flat land again.
Yeah, it definitely reminds me of like the southern English coast or something, right? Those just sharp drop off cliffs near the coast.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Fios fought long and hard about that pinpoint because he otherwise wouldn't have put his pin there.
But with only about a minute left to go, it's better to have a pin down than nothing.
Yep.
I don't think anybody's been skunked yet, but we don't like to see it happen, but it has happened in the past. Oh, there we go. Plenty of flags.
You are in the UK and Germany and Denmark. Yeah, there's just no
What do you
signs
know?
here.
You're on planet Earth. Oh.
Oh,
We are on the one for sure.
oh, that looks much better.
There we go. Much better. Yeah, much better from Theos. Putting 2 and 2 together. And Jake Lyons will be doing the same, but he is not quite sure. That thin band of coast, he does seem to think, got to be around here somewhere.
Yep.
Hasn't dropped a pin quite yet. Only 13 seconds left. The pin has got to go down.
Yeah, you see that that town there that he's right next to was on one of those blue signs that you saw.
And they are pretty close, and Theos will get a bit of an advantage, 4,570 to Jay Lyons 4,232, but not nearly enough to really claw back that disadvantage he has, Calamity.
Yeah, he's still quite far behind, but at least it's something. It puts him a bit closer again, and maybe it'll even be enough to get a bonus point there. Who knows?
Oh, very nice from these two indeed. This was a bit of a tricky round, probably the least amount of information we have seen so far.
Yep.
For sure. They did pretty well with that. Again, that narrow coast line really helping them out. And Jake Lyons does spend quite a bit of time just checking out that location after it gave him a bit of a tricky time. for that. So we will get into round number 5 here, the final round. And, well, we've actually got what looks like a pinpointable location for our final spot. And with about a 1,900 point lead, going to be a tough challenge for Theos to come out on top on this one, Calamity.
Yeah, it's very unlikely to happen. He's found some signs earlier than Jake, but looks like Jake is coming up to some as well. Quite close to the Keflavik airport. Keflavik was a city in Iceland that then combined with Njarðvík and one other town there to form Reykjanesbær that you see there on the map, but the airport's still called Keflavik Airport, so easy to find. This is
really nice because, yeah, we had Ice on for the show to talk about the country, and he mentioned this little area, and then it popped up in my round, and I was like, oh, I know where that is, because I took notes while Ice was talking.
Yeah.
And I remember. So, yeah, really helpful. Outside of Reykjavik, it is a pretty nice urban area. And the trick is, which one of these little weird interchanges are you near? Because there's a couple almost identical looking ones, and the only difference is what leads off of them. And once you realize there's pretty much nothing off of them, then you can hone in on the correct one.
Yeah, I noticed how Jake has that weird quirk of putting his pin where he's currently at, rather than actually where he thinks he started at, which I don't think I've ever seen anyone do before. But if it helps him, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at least it keeps track. You know, you're within a couple clicks of that location.
It's usually a good thing to do when you're backtracking from somewhere. When you're like, okay, I know I'm now here, and now I'm gonna backtrack, and I'm gonna keep track of where I am at any given point. It just kind of loses its meaning once you just put the pin to where you are and then jump back to the start, because, well...
I see. Yeah, it's not really going to help you too much. You don't know, unless you're perfectly remembering, you don't know quite where you were along the way in between. So he clicks off the road. So
yeah, that's another weird quirk that I've noticed, where he clicks off the road so he can see the directionality of the road better. Also something I've not seen anybody else do, but...
But if it works, it works. And it definitely works. Unfortunately, not an ace, but 4,997 will see him seal the win. Theos has got a minute and a half to try to get as many points as he can. A bonus point might be up for grabs. Did pretty well in round number 4, which was a killer round for quite a few competitors, Calamity. So he isn't looking at some bonus points, maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. It depends a bit on how other people did, but it's within the realms of possibility, maybe. Will just require a bit of luck on his part, I guess.
Yeah, well, he actually went off on these side roads to get some names. Then he will move back. And hopefully he will realize we're in that little exit ramp, and that he can use that to help him as well. We get into the final 30 seconds of this match. So, yeah, again, another pretty decent showing by Theos, but unlucky not to pick up a win. Jake Lyons just a little bit better, Calamity.
Yeah.
So, a bit of a rough start to this season in Division 4 for him.
Yeah, definitely. Wait a second. Yeah, he got relegated last season after actually finishing, he finished in 9th. Only 2 points behind 6th place, and then he lost the relegation playoff match. So, bit of an unlucky relegation last season. And yeah, with how the season started, it's looking pretty unlikely that he'll get right back up to Division 3. Even as he gets a nice ace there, yeah.
Yeah, he does show his skill there, acing that round better than his opponent, but won't be enough to pull it back. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the harsh reality of Reddit League, is that it doesn't matter how good your score is. What matters is how good your opponent's score is compared to yours. So you can get a really nice score, and then your opponent just nips you out by 150 points or so, and then you're out of luck.
Yeah.
As we take a look at these totals, 23,949 for Jay Lyons, 22,96 for Theos. So congrats on the win in Iceland. Jay Lions, and he goes even 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, very nice. I hope you enjoyed this little look at Division 4, and these two players got a lot to come. They're really good performances in a difficult country, and doesn't get any easier, Calamity. Next week we head to Botswana, which, unlike Iceland, maybe no distinction in geography at all.
Well,
so
I'd say it's about even in terms of distinction in geography. You don't have much for both of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely not getting easier, and pinpointing is also not getting easier.
Yeah, so we'll see what they can do in Botswana next week, and we'll see you all there. Take care.
Bye.